Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell in the upper right hand corner. Follow me on all forms of social media. Check me out at thatdrummerguy.com and enjoy the following presentation.
Hey, is this Josh?
Yes, it is.
Hey, this is Matt, the drummer from Ashes to New.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I know on the sheet it says something about talking to Matt Brandyberry, but they were saying, might as well. Your name was that drummer guy, I believe. So they were like, hey, just toss it up the drummer. So.
Oh, that totally works. So, well, thank you very much for taking time to do this interview.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, of course, we're here to talk about everything we need to know about From Ashes to New, and of course, talking about the brand new album, which just came back out in April. How does it feel to have the new album out for almost a month now?
It feels good. I mean, it's definitely nice to just get new content out there to everybody and to really just showcase our new singer, as well as myself being a part of the band since the beginning of 2017 and 2016. It's just nice to, be back out there and kind of trying to put our name back out on the map.
Yeah, and it's great to see all the positive reception that's been going on. I mean, and especially over the last month, I've just been seeing you guys everywhere, all over social media, all these amazing shows and tours that are coming up. I mean, it's really cool to see that.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely nice to see that again. We definitely want to try to keep getting our name out there as much as possible, so as much airplay and social media as we can promote the best for us,
Oh, absolutely. So with that, how did the songwriting process begin with the new album?
The writing process?
Yeah.
Well, it started, Matt Brandyberry had a little bit of some ideas left over from the first album, but realistically, we wanted to try to do something that was a little bit new for us and fresh, something that was going to showcase the four of us as writers, as a group, rather than anything that was kind of left over, that maybe didn't make the cut for day one. So the writing process just really started. Matt and I linked up. We were the ones that lived closest to each other, both in Pennsylvania. Lance is in Ohio, our guitar player, and Danny, the new vocalist that we found, was Rochester. So before we even found Danny, it was Lance, myself, and Matt and I linked up and started writing some stuff and just trying to get a basis of the ideas of where we wanted to go with it or how we wanted things to sound. But Lance was also writing on his own back home, and then we'd FaceTime and send each other things, or just through emails or whatever, and then send tracks back and forth, and then just work on them, progress them, and try to see what happened. And then eventually, finding Danny, then we were able to get together as a full group and then sit down in a room and really just try to come up with everything. We didn't actually put the instruments in our hand until we went to the studio, so it was kind of all just by thought, by feel of what we thought was going to be the best for our situation.
And with the ideas in mind, being able to trade files back and forth online, and of course getting together once in a while before getting in the studio, how much did the music change before the full line for the new album came to be?
I guess in a way, I would say it didn't really change too much from the initial idea, but then there's some songs that did kind of change quite a bit as we progressed. The way we took everything was we kind of just made a basic outline of how we wanted something to start off. We would start maybe with the chorus for most of them, and try to come up with the catchiest hook or catchiest part. And sometimes that chorus idea that we thought was going to be a chorus actually turned out to be a verse, because later on we found something that progressed into something bigger, and then we were like, that sounds more of so there's some songs that we started off and we just had the knack for it right away, and it just kind of progressed into what it was. But then there was other songs that, like I said, we wanted to go with something for the chorus or for the hook, or the big idea is what we thought of it, and it ended up turning into something even bigger than what we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and it's amazing how that can work out. I mean, there's so many variables that can go into making a new album, and I'm glad to see, from building a new lineup to finally getting together right before the studio and being able to work in the studio to be able to produce the best album possible. I'm glad to see that it worked out the way that it did.
Thank you, man. Yeah, we're really excited about it. This is definitely a showcasing of some of what we feel is our best work that we've done so far with writing. A few of us have all done things in the past. We've all, Matt's done the first album in the past, and Lance has had some other bands. Danny's was in some smaller projects as well, and I've also done some things. So this is kind of showcasing where we want to go musically, and it's just kind of giving a tip of the iceberg for us as to what we have in store for the future as well, no pun intended. So
with that, I mean, how did you approach your playing when it came to the album when you finally got in the studio?
To approach like my parts, or how I came into the entire band?
A little bit of both.
Well, for me, coming into the parts, realistically, with writing this album, we all have a 25% say in everything. You know, like it's an even split, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I didn't just write drum parts, and I didn't say to anybody else, no, you can't give me any ideas. This is my territory. And Lance didn't do the same. You know, he didn't say, I'm the guitarist, I'm going to write all the riffs. We all collectively came up with stuff. I wrote lyrics for this album. I wrote production stuff. I helped with guitar things and just melodies, as well as all the rest of the guys did the same things with all the other parts and with drum parts, you know, with drum ideas and everything else. Primarily, Lance would come up with the full idea of guitars, or I would have the full idea with drums. But when it came to like melodies and different things, it was a collective effort across the board with all the production that we have, because there's a lot of synths, piano parts, just different layers of different things in there. So we all collectively came up with that. So that was a lot of fun for us as well. You know, it wasn't just one person was, I'm a lyricist, or I'm a vocalist, so I'm going to do this, or I'm a drummer, so I'm going to write all these parts. We open-mindedly went into this and said, you know what, let's all put a piece of ourselves in every department of this album, and let's make it as true to the four of us as we could. So that was a lot of fun, and it ended up working out really good for us. You know, I know a lot of other bands or artists have a hard time being able to, you know, do that in other areas. So it was, you know, it works for us, and it makes it more fun to write. You feel like you're more a part of the entire process and more a part of the entire outcome when it comes down to it. As far as me getting into the band, I was actually in contacts with their producer, the same producer who did this past record, Grant McFarlane. I've known him from his smaller band. He was in a band called This Year the Apocalypse at the time, like way back, and he left the band. So I was mutual friends with him as a mutual drummer from an area, and he had posted about Formash This New needing a fill-in for a tour. March of 2016, it was going out on a Trey You Run. I wasn't given much details, but I saw his post. International touring band looking for a drummer. At the time, I didn't have anything going on, and I was looking for work, and I was looking to get back out on the road. So I hit him up and said, hey, man, I'm interested. This is the band I used to play for. Here's some videos. Here's my resume, basically. And the previous drummer of the band was a fan of my work and my last album and last band, and he immediately was like, hey, man, you know, we'd love to have you on board. Where are you located? I, you know, found out that I'm only located 45 minutes away from where the band's based out of, so it just worked out so well for us. And then I filled in, and I jokefully but also seriously said to the guys at the end of the tour, because I had a great time, I was like, look, man, if anything ends up happening with the previous drummer, let me know. Contact me. I don't have anything else lined up. I don't know what the future holds for me, so let me know what's up. And by October of 2016, I was getting a call from Matt Brandyberry saying, hey, it looks like things are going to be changing, and you know, there's a spot available if you're interested. So I hopped on board.
Yeah, and that really shows that if you really do take any opportunity that you can, and, you know, just putting your name out there, that great things can happen. And it's great to see with just in the last couple of years being able to, not knowing what you're going to be doing with your musical career, to being now becoming an even more established band that is being able to accomplish so much in 2018.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, sometimes it's really scary. You just, you know, we have to just believe in the fact that, you know, things can still keep happening and good things are to come, but you also have to put in that work as well. So I mean, that it's definitely sometimes of a scary moment, but you know, it's the blessings are there for sure.
And with that, I mean, with this new album, I mean, just like being able to see like all the videos that are coming out and all the singles that are coming out. I mean, how does it feel to get like the reception that you have for the new singles? I mean, especially like Crazy with like all the huge numbers that you guys are getting as far as like streams and everything else going on.
It feels great. I'm absolutely in love with the feedback that we're getting. I'm so appreciative that everybody's open-minded to the changes that have been made, stylistically, member changes, everything else. So it's great to see that feedback. And it's great, too, because, I mean, honestly speaking, Crazy wasn't a song that we were intending to write for the album at all. Our label actually wanted a very specific style of song, and we were trying to deliver that. And we went through a couple different attempts to make this song happen. And one of the songs that we actually made in LA made it on the record that we felt was a strong song, but it was definitely a push in more of an alternative direction. And they were just like, you know what, like, this is a great song, but we feel that we need to introduce this album with just a huge catchy song and showcase Danny as well as just other parts of this band and kind of just loop it all in. So then we ended up going back into the studio again, and we formulated Crazy, and it's just, you know, and it's great to see that response, because we weren't sure what was missing for the album, but we knew that there was still something missing, and so did the label. And then when we put out that song, and everybody was like, just agreed that, yeah, this is definitely a catchy song for us. This is a good first single. It's a good lead-in. The response is great to see that, because it's definitely a much different style song. There's acoustic guitar. It's a different approach stylistically from Ashes to New, but we like to look at it as like, with this new album, because there's new members and because we all collectively had an equal share in writing, this is what we like to say is the sound of From Ashes to New. A lot of older fans from day one record are like, well, you guys lost a little bit of your sound and everything, but Matt was the primary writer. Matt Bradyberry was the primary writer on that album. He did about 95% of all the writing. So stylistically, when the band started till now, that's a 4-year span, 5-year span. His style's also changed a little bit. He's evolved as a writer and as a listener and things like that. So, now that the four of us got together, we changed things a little bit, but we also all progressed as writers and musicians and listeners as well. So, it's cool to see the responses that we're getting on some of these songs that we're pushing the envelope a little bit. We're trying to see what kind of responses we can get for some of these songs and maybe open up our horizons a little to a bigger fan base.
Yeah, and I imagine when it comes into the live setting, it's got to be so satisfying being able to play the new songs, because it is a great representation of where the band is right now.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The songs like Crazy, Broken are a lot of fun. One of my personal favorites is Forgotten. We've been putting that in our set list a lot. They're just a lot of fun because, it's what we have that's new and just putting it out there. But what's great is seeing the fans' reaction to it. People singing along to the songs already, just really enjoying those songs as well. So it's a lot of fun.
And how is that? I mean, of course, with the band, going through a new lineup, going through a new album, I mean, with every show, you're able to show yourself off to a new audience. I mean, how has the live reception been, especially as far as playing in markets that you haven't played before?
It's been great. I mean, it's definitely, it's a learning process as well, because some of these markets that you haven't played in, you're not going to get as many fans to come out as you would, a bigger market that you've played on a bunch of bigger tours or something like that. So it's a learning experience as well, but everybody who comes out is constantly singing along to the songs, constantly reacting well. They come up to us at the end of the show, because we usually hang out. We'll go to the merch table and things like that. We'll just try to hang around and meet as many people as we can. And the responses that we've been getting from the bigger shows to the smaller shows to the big markets, the small markets have all been very positive. And it's a very rewarding feeling to be like, what we're doing is still catching on. It's still progressing, and good things are still to come from all of it. So it's a lot of fun as well.
Yeah, and that's going to be a great feeling. I mean, now that you guys are in that position where you're able to get the best of both worlds, where you go to those markets that you've played before and you're able to build up that fan base even bigger than what it was, and playing the new markets as well, where they may not be familiar with you, or it's just a smaller fan base, and you're able to rise that up as well.
Yeah, it's great.
And of course, with that, I mean, you guys are going to be soon embarking on a brand new tour, being able to hit so many areas with Bad Wolves. I mean, it's great to see you guys a part of such an awesome tour. I mean, with 3 very different bands, but they all fit together so very well.
Yeah, I mean, that was one thing we definitely talked about too, is all 3 of us are definitely stylistically a little bit different, but we feel that it's going to work as well. And it's cool for us because we were supposed to do a headliner back in January of 2017, but with everything that's happened and the previous singer leaving and just everything that was going on, we weren't able to fulfill it. So this is going to be our first headline in a way, but it's a co-headline, but still in that spotlight, in that, that spot. So that's a great thing for us. It's a big step for our career as well, and we're very excited for it. I personally know some of the Bad Wolves guys as well, so it's going to be a great time. I've gotten to tour with a couple of them before, and they're older bands than my older band, and people I've teched for and things like that. So it should be a lot of fun. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and that's another great thing about this whole tour is all 3 of these bands have just been getting bigger and bigger, especially within the last year, and it's so great to see a culmination of something like just being able to get 3 bands like this, being able to tackle North America and be able to show off what you guys are all about.
Yeah, we're absolutely excited for it.
So with that, I mean, for anyone that's listening right now that may not have had a chance to be able to see you guys live yet, what should people expect from a live set from you guys?
I think a little bit of just diversity with our set. I mean, we're going to play some of the old stuff, of course. We're going to also play some of the new stuff, but we really try to, just have fun with our set. We really try to just make it as fun as possible and just kind of still in your face, having you waving your hands around, crouching down to the ground and jumping up with us, just doing whatever we can to make you having the best time possible, but also singing along to it. And our lyrics, I mean, we try to have a positive message with all of our stuff. We try to be positive people. So at the end of the day, if you're not waving your hands around and having the best time with that, it's like, if you can take away the message that we're giving them, that's great to us as well. But just to have a good time with us, we're going to put on a good show. We have a light show that we like to bring out with us as well. And we just try to put smiles on everybody's face and have a great time.
And that is such a great thing to see that. And I'm glad to see that you guys are thinking about that, making sure that everyone coming to the show is going to be able to enjoy it both audibly and visually and just leave with an overall positive feeling. I mean, when you go to see a show, you want to be able to have that kind of connection.
Yeah, I mean, for me as a viewer or as a listener or as a fan of anything, when I go to a show, it's like, it's not just the music, but it's also like the visuals that get me hooked on it. And then you go to listen to that album later on, or you go to listen to some of those favorite songs that you got to hear the other night, and it's like in your mind, you visualize that show. And it just makes those songs that much more fun or that much better to you as a listener. It's like there's been multiple times where I've listened to an album and I'm like, this is really good, and I go to see it live, and then I see all the visuals and I see how much fun that band was having on stage or that artist was having, and then I go listen to that, and it's like, it just makes it so much more live for me, and I appreciate it so much more because I have that as a representation. So,
and with that, I mean, with the amount of live shows that you guys have been able to do, and through the trials and tribulations of being in a band, how much do you feel that the band as a whole has grown over the last few years?
I personally have thought that the band has grown immensely. I was a part of it with older members, and now being a part of it with the new lineup that we have. We're only 4 of us now, so it's a smaller band, but at the same time, I feel that in a sense we're a bigger band, because this band, it just seems that we're all headed in the same direction. We all are very like-minded in a lot of aspects, and we get along great, and I think that shows on stage as well. But musically, we're headed down the same path as well, and it seems to work a lot better for this group of guys now, and it's just like, I can't be more excited for it.
Yeah, and it's so great to see that too. I mean, as great as it is being able to tour behind this new album, and just like with just a little under a month of being able to promote it and like all the upcoming live shows that's going on, I'm very excited to see what's going to be happening with the next album. Now that you guys have got this formation going, know the style that you want to go for, and being able to progress as the next album comes along.
Oh, absolutely. I say to these guys all the time, I'm like, I'm very excited for this album, and we want to tour it as much as possible, but I'm so excited to push that envelope a little bit further for album 3 and just really open up doorways for us, or at least try to. We're definitely a band that wants to keep evolving, and we don't want to stay in the same place, but we don't want to abandon what we are either, so it's like, we just want to get to a point where it's like, we can be on all sides of the spectrum. We joke about it all the time. We feel with our style, we have hip-hop, but we also have a little bit of the rock. You see guys like Machine Gun Kelly, who are doing these rock festivals, but he's a hip-hop artist. He's playing festivals like Coachella, but he's also playing festivals like Carolina Rebellion and Rock on the Range. It's like, we want to get to a point, and that's why we say all the time, it's like, man, we're excited for album 3 to see where it could take us. We want to kind of be that band that we can kind of bridge that gap musically, and stop the segregation of, okay, well, I'm a metal guy, so I'll only listen to metal, or I'm a hip-hop guy, I'll only listen to hip-hop. We're trying to kind of close that gap and maybe be that band that could help bridge it. I know Linkin Park was a huge band that did that back in the day, and it seems to kind of regress from that a little bit since, not as many people followed their career path until as of recently. So, we just want to open doors for us. So we're very excited for album 3 as well, but we're very excited for where we're at right now and just touring this album and trying to get the word out as much as possible.
Yeah, and that would be just so great to see that. I mean, being able to see that no matter what style of music that you enjoy, you can be able to find something in another genre and be able to appreciate it. So when you get into like the heavier music mixed with hip hop, it's like there's been bands in the past who have done that so very well, but it'd be great to be able to bridge that connection again.
Oh, absolutely. And we're, like I said, we started off with a few different genres infused in one for this band. So there's no reason that we should just stick to one spot. We want to push that envelope, and, we'll have our heavier songs, we'll have our heavier hip hop songs. And as shown on the Future, you got the first track of the song, or first track of the album, Wake Up. That's probably the heaviest style song that's going to be on the record, and the heaviest one maybe that's from Ashes to Is done instrumentally. And then you have the heaviest hip hop song, which is the title track of the record, The Future. It's all the way at at the end of the song or album. So it's just, you're going to get your diverse mix of stuff from us, and we're always going to try to push that envelope a little bit, but we're always, trying to be from ashes to new.
Yeah, and again, it's so great to see that. I mean, again, just like being able to push this brand new album, getting a part of these awesome festival shows, these awesome tours that are coming along. It's going to be very exciting, when the third album does come along, and everything up until then too. Just being able to tour all these new places, hitting back to places that have this audience waiting for you to come back. I mean, it's really cool to be in that position.
Oh, absolutely. We're honored, honestly. Just to have this dream of ours since we were kids come true and be able to have this opportunity and this platform to be able to do it is amazing. And honestly, we couldn't do it without any of our fans. The fans that have been there since the beginning of this thing and have been able to drive this entire project into what it is. It was fan-based from the beginning. This was absolutely, this band started as nothing in 2013, but maybe one song was put out there, and then enough fans had promoted it on their own that it got to Octane before the band was even formed. There was maybe two members. It was Chris and Matt, the old singer and Matt, that formed this thing. Well, Matt formed it, and then they wrote the song, got put on Octane, and it was all by the fans. So it's just honored, absolutely honored to be able to have this platform, and we can't wait to hit every market that we can and come back to those markets, especially on our co-headlining tour, and just constantly grow and be able to put on a bigger and better show every time we come out.
And speaking of that, I mean, obviously with this amazing co-headlining tour with Bad Wolves coming up, is there anything planned yet after the tour?
Anything planned after?
Yeah.
We have some things. We announced that we're going to be on Rock Allegiance, which is kind of a home show for Matt and I in Pennsylvania. We're going to be doing that festival. We have a couple other things that are in the works. We did just announce a show with Hollywood Undead on, I believe it's July 26th. So we're kind of routing on our way back. We'll have a couple shows going back towards Pennsylvania after the tour as well and around that area. So we're looking to book some more things, but we don't have anything really big tours set in stone yet, but we're working on them. So as soon as we can announce them or as soon as they get booked up, then we'll be promoting them as much as possible and trying to get everybody in tune with everything that's going on.
Yeah, and it's going to be very exciting to see how that all pans out as well. I mean, with an awesome new album and all these great festivals that are coming up, the amazing touring with Bad Wolves that'll be coming up, and everything that'll be coming up in the future once that gets announced. I mean, it's great to see that the new album is going to be getting the live promotion it deserves and seeing you guys just get constantly bigger and better from here on out.
Yeah, we're very excited for it.
Awesome. Well, again, Matt, thank you so very much for taking all this time to be able to talk to me about everything that's going on with From Ashes to New, and of course, talking about the brand new album in the future, and all these upcoming live appearances that are going on, being able to talk about the new lineup, even a little bit in the album 3, even though that's still a ways off, just getting pumped up for that album as well. And I really appreciate you taking the time to be able to talk to me.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking the time and speaking with me.
Oh, not a problem. Before we wrap things up here, is there anything else you'd like to mention that I hadn't brought up yet?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is there anything else you'd like to mention that I hadn't brought up yet?
Nothing that I can think of off the top of my head. I believe that we covered most of it for the most part. Got all the touring and everything like that, so I think that's pretty much all covered.